Hi, Michael Buffer here, and let's get ready for FM Boxing Media.
This is Frankie Morgan here from FM Boxing Media, brought to you by the High Protein Company, For You Hair Products, and the Giggling Pig Co. And I'm joined by Tom Welland. How are we doing, Tom?
Oh, good, mate. You?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Stuff.
Talking of hair products, I did DM you the other day because I see a video of you in the
Oh,
car
yeah, I
wellness
know.
about 4 years ago. I'm going to have to put it on the screen.
I had a
here.
few hair products in then, I think.
What was that haircut about?
I don't know. I used to. People don't actually believe me when I say I have a part in because my hair's completely different now. But I did. I used to have a part in when I was like going up through school and into like maybe like my first year of college. I got rid of it and I went to what I've got now. Like I just kept it natural now. Like people don't believe me. I've got naturally curly hair. I've got no products in my hair right now. Like it's just completely naturally curly. But yeah, I probably had a few hair products in then.
I had a look at it. It was like a bit of a Jimmy Neutron sort of
Yeah.
haircut, weren't it? All flicked up,
It
stuck up.
was flicked up to the side. I blow dry to fuck. Parted. I remember I used to get proper anal about my hair. Where my parting was, if I had a couple of hairs out of place, mate, ruined my day. But yeah, not anymore. I ain't got enough time for that now.
That Cairo wellness, though, I spoke to him on the night of your last fight.
Yeah.
Proper good people. He was saying that you've never, ever missed one of your treatments.
Nah, me, Steve, Matt, all the boys down at Essex Cryo Wellness in Brentwood. Yeah, no, we put a lot of work in together. We've been seeing each other now for it's got to be leading up to 7 years now. I remember I was in there the month after he opened, and I've been in there ever since. Every week religiously. It's the half reason why I'm never injured. I'm always fighting. I'm fighting so much. It takes a toll on the body, not just the fights but the camps. It just keeps me injury free. Keeps me recovery up, so I can just train as hard as I can, as long as I want. You know, I can spar as many rounds as I want. You know, and you always see people like when I'm sparring, they always say like, "How'd you go for so long?" It's because I look after my body. You have to look after your body. You know, like I see a chiropractor in Chelmsford as well, advanced chiropractic in Chelmsford. Again, same thing. No, never miss a treatment. I'm in there every other week religiously. You know, and those two combined, it helps out my body so much and just keeps me fine tuned.
Yeah, because I was speaking to him on the night and he said a lot of athletes do go down there. You've obviously got the likes of Conor Mitchell, Jimmy Quinn.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
get George Liddard pop in there as
Yeah,
well.
Conor Ben's in there all the time. Like, there's loads of us in there. And there was a time when a lot of the Matchroom stable were in there. So the Matchroom gym's only around the corner. We had like Joe Cordina would be in there, Conor Ben, Conor Mitchell, Jimmy Sains, George Liddard. Like, there's loads of us that go in there, you know, and it's just so essential. People neglect it. It just has to be done. Otherwise, you're asking for an injury. The amount that we train, the amount that we're getting hit in the head, not just your body, but your hands and all that sort of thing. It's just so neglected. And if you can keep yourself at an optimum sort of one recovery, but two performance, you'll see the results. And that's why you've got to do it week in, week out religiously.
Yeah, and obviously last time I see you was at York Hall. This weekend we
That's
went
it.
and watched Frankie Sior in
That's
his
it.
debut.
That's it.
How well do you think he performed there?
Yeah, he's good. Frank scares me sometimes, man. He scares me sometimes.
He's only young as well, ain't he?
Yeah.
He's still got a lot to,
So
to grow into.
Yeah, I was young when I made my debut. I was 19 when I made my debut. Seems like a long time ago now. It was only a couple of years ago for me. But Frank, I know what it's like on your debut, and a lot of fighters will say the same thing. You want to get the knockout. You want to be like, yeah, I knocked him out on my debut. You got a perfect record, 1-0, one knockout. Like, yeah, 100%. But Frank's got such long arms, and his IQ is unreal. Like, and the work that he put in with Will the whole way through the camp, and the things they were drilling, you can just see like Frank didn't need to stand there and trade with him. Like, there just didn't need to be close range. Like, all he had to do was just jab his head off, and the knockout would have come. But all in all, though, Frank looked good. He looked really good that night, and he had a tough guy in front of him as well. And he's worked hard the whole way through the camp. The whole time he's just been in the gym day in, day out, putting in the graft. I think he'll be good, Frank. I think as long as he keeps himself, as long as they manage him right and they keep him on the right track, he'll be very good.
Yeah, one thing we do need to touch on, obviously, Will was in his corner, and I see you that night, and a lot of people don't know this yet, but you and Will, there's no bad blood, but you have split, and you have been looking around at other coaches, and you have found yourself one by the sounds of it at the moment, but obviously Will has been a part of your career from the start to now. Obviously, it was a very hard decision for you to split, weren't it?
Yeah, it was heartbreaking, to be honest. Me and Will have been through a lot, seen a lot, and we are brothers. We'll always be brothers. I made sure that I didn't look at anyone else before I spoke to Will. I hadn't been in any other gym. In fact, I didn't go back to training until I spoke to Will. So I wanted to make sure I'd done it the right way because I didn't want Will to think, oh, the 7 years of graft and all this and day in, day out. We went to Vegas together. We was in Saudi. Even before I was a pro, during the amateurs, we was up and down the country with O'Hara, and we've been through a lot. We've seen a lot. I've seen Will grow as a coach and as a person, because Will used to be he used to be like the guy. Do you know what I mean? Like Will used to be so hot headed sometimes. Be like, yeah, come on in. Do you know what I mean? He's so. I think now that he's got little Willow, now that he's got his little girl, Will's calmed down so much, and it's been a long time that it's taken him a long time to do that. But I've seen like Will grow as a person, and even for me, like he's seen me grow up from when I was 14, 15 to 21, going through the amateurs to a pro. He's done my first 10 fights with me, and yeah, no, it was heartbreaking. There's nothing more to really say about it. We're always going to be brothers. He'll always be one of my best mates. Always be a best mate to me. I'm always on the other end of the phone for him and vice versa. But this is only the business relationship changes with me and Will. But it was heartbreaking. I think he was heartbroken as well.
Yeah, I sat in the changing room with the two of you the other day, and I could see there's no bad blood at all. Can see that it's still like friendships there.
Yeah.
But obviously, when it comes down to coaching, there was just a time where maybe you need to go to maybe not only just as a coach, but a better stable with better people around you, maybe, and get more experience around you. Really.
Do you know where it was? I think the big thing for me was never in Will's coaching ability, because he's a great coach. And for anyone who's looking for a young professional coach, I'm telling you, round Essex way, Will's your man. Like, he really is. What he done for me, the way that he's improved me, he settled me down, the transitioning from pro to amateur, or amateur to pro, sorry. He is your man. But I think for me, I was getting too comfortable. And yeah, the environment's a big thing. Like when O'Hara was there, even if I wasn't training, I'd go in there and watch him spar. You know, I was always a student when I was there. When OD left, it sort of turned to a point where I was the one being watched. And yeah, that's good for me, and I like that, because other people can be like, oh, Tom does this well, Tom does that well. Not even that I do things not so well. But there wasn't anyone, when OD left, there wasn't anyone for me to do that still. And it was a recurring problem, but we were still getting, like, obviously we had Malik Zenad come in the gym, we went to Saudi with him. So we were still getting opportunities and we were still learning. But obviously after the last fight, it was, I think that sort of showed that it was time for a change. Not that Will had done anything wrong, because he hadn't. I just think we just got too complacent with each other and we got too comfortable. And to be honest, I think we got too close. We were too close as friends, that it wasn't really a coach-boxer relationship. It was we was like brothers, you know.
Yeah, and touching on that last fight, obviously I spoke to you about it the other day, and we said it weren't a mismatch at all. It weren't that you picked the wrong opponent at the wrong time. It was just one-off round, or even one-off 10 seconds that caused the loss. But when you look back at that fight, do you sometimes wish I might have took that fight one fight later, or do you think the fight was perfect and it was just that 10-second blip?
I wish I took that fight 5 fights down the line, to be honest. Not that was at the wrong time, because it wasn't. I showed that night that me and my performance, that I belonged at that level. And like I say, I was just on the wrong end of boxing, as they say. Like, it was when they say that one punch changes everything, that is the definition. One punch changes everything. You know, I won every round. I put him down in the second. The referee said to me a couple of weeks later, like, listen, if he'd have got through the 6th or the 7th and there was no change, I was going to stop it, because his eye was closing. You know, all I had to do was get in cruise control. Got too eager, showed my inexperience more than anything else. I don't wish it had come at a different time, because if I'd have won, we'd be sitting here saying, what's next? Yeah. You know, so I don't, and to be honest, we are still sitting here saying what's next because of the performance, not because I'm going to take a step back. I've not. We've just got to learn now that this has happened for a reason, that we need to slow ourselves down, but take the right fights rather than just, right, let's fight him. It wasn't a mismatch. I was punching his head in for 5 rounds. He was just again boxing. He just caught me, and that's the game of it. I was trying to do it to him. He was trying to do it to me. Like, that's part of it, you know. Like, professional boxing is no joke. Like, that just is what it is. So I wish I'd taken it a little bit down the line, just to grow my experience a little bit more, maybe. And I think what has happened now is that me and my team, especially my management and myself, have realised that we are so young. We've got a long time in this sport, and we don't need to be taking fights like that straight away. But like I say, boxing at world youth level, coming down to domestic level, sort of English level, it's not really a step back. It's still a step forward, because I took a leap of faith into world youth level, and then we come down to domestic, which is where we was going to go anyway. So it makes no difference for me. But yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, when it comes to them world youths, a lot of people might look at it and think, oh, Tom's lost his shot, but you've still got another 2-3 years left at the world youths if you did want to go for it again.
Yeah, of course.
And when you look at it that way, it's hard to imagine that you are that young and you've already had the experience that you've had.
Yeah, of course. Like I say, I'm 21 years old. I'm like nearly 3 years into my pro career. I'm 10 fights deep. Like, experienced enough to know that that was the right fight for me at the right time. It wasn't a mismatch. Don't get me wrong, we were struggling for opponents. We couldn't get an opponent. We went through 17 opponents or something to try and get someone. He was the only one who would take it. And out of his 12 wins or 11 wins that he had at the time, he had knocked out like 7 of them. So it was no bum. You know, he was from Mexico, Mexican southpaw. Couldn't find anything of him. Like, I couldn't research him, anything like that. Like, it wasn't the wrong fight at the wrong time. I was just on the wrong end of boxing. But I think if I was more experienced, it could have brought the chances down of that. You know, so and that's the lesson. And don't get me wrong, it showed a lot of weaknesses in the camp. It showed a lot of weaknesses in me. You know, so that sort of thing, you'd rather have it now than in 10 years' time when it's a long way back. You know, so yeah, I think this is a blessing in disguise, and it will turn me into a better fighter for sure.
Yeah, and one thing I did mention to Johnny after the fight, Johnny Clark, was that your video didn't go up straight away, the stoppage, whereas normally on Top Tier is stoppage boom posted.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas Johnny said that night, the care that he had for you, he wanted to make sure you got home, you're safe, your family are well, and still to this day, Top Tier haven't posted that.
Yeah.
How much does that show of what Johnny thinks of you as a person as well?
Honestly, there is no one else in boxing that would do that, because you just don't have the relationship with the promoters like that. You know, like I talk to my promoter a lot, considering like who they are and where they are and all that sort of thing. And even for me, I still talk to them like once or twice a month max. Someone like Johnny, who's also part of Let's Go Management, he's a local lad. He's from Essex as well. Like, it's one of those things that me and Johnny have supported each other from the start. And like, Johnny saw me when I first turned pro and all that sort of thing, and was coming down the gym when I was sparring and all that. Like, me and Johnny know each other more as a boxer promoter relationship. And I've got a lot of love for Johnny for that. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have blamed him to do, because he's got to do his job as well, right? Like, he's got to sell his show as well, and I get it, right? I do get it, and I would never have stopped him doing that. It's his show. I was on there for myself, so like Johnny had me on there for himself. But what he done for me in terms of protecting me, and not just me but my family, because really for me, it's not, obviously you want to protect the boxer, but it's the people around you that care about you the most, you know, like, and protecting me and my family like that. I got a lot of time and a lot of time for Johnny, and I really appreciate him doing that. I haven't actually spoke to him that much, to be fair. I think he sort of left me to it, but I'll make sure that I speak to him. But no, I've got a lot of time and a lot of respect for Johnny for that, and I'll definitely help him in the future. Obviously, I was before anyway. Like, we was doing things just as friends. Like, we are still friends, but he helped me out loads.
Yeah, and obviously one of the Sutherlands was there that night to watch the fight. I spoke to him afterwards, and even he agreed. He said it weren't one fight too early, it was one punch too late. Like, simply just didn't see one punch coming, and that's what changed the fight. But even the Sutherlands were saying that your performance that night was one of the better performances at youth world title level.
Yeah, I mean, if we'd have won that, say we got him out there, or the referee had stopped it in the corner, pulled him out, whatever, we'd be sitting there thinking, "God, fucking hell, where do we go now?" Do you know what I mean? So maybe it's not a bad thing. I showed that I can be there. I showed I belonged at that level, but there is still a few weaknesses: age, experience, all of the above. That it just takes time. Some things you can't rush. You know, it just happens naturally. But yeah, like, but for me, my thing was, what if the promoters don't see that? What if they don't see it like that? If they think, "Oh, well, that's it."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was my big thing. But I know Wassman, the Silence, they've all got my. They've all got my. I know my team have got my back, and that's why we sign with them. You know, that's why we work with them, because they know that we're not just in it for boxing. We're in it for the journey. We're in it for the experience, and we're in it to get to the top together. That's the thing. That was the difference. So it's nice to know, and it's it just sets your mind at rest, really.
Yeah, and looking forward from there, obviously you've now got two choices. You can go and maybe win a Southern area and then go back to youth world title, or you can go Southern area, English, British, and try and win everything from the bottom up. What would be your preferred route if you could? Because I know obviously you would like to get that little bit of revenge and maybe get that belt, but at the same time, being a young English lad from the Southern area, it's good to obviously win everything, ain't it?
Definitely. Do you know what? For me, I was calling for that title before. One, because I knew it was the right title for me, being world youth level, 8 rounds, blah, 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 everything else. But honestly, do you know what? I'm just going to leave it to my team now. I'm not that... I almost don't care. I'm happy to... Every fight is the same fight, no matter what the title is, no matter where he's from, where I'm from. Like, they're all the same fights, all the same titles, all mean the same thing. You've got to go through those levels to get to the next one and then get to the next one. But that means you've got to take these fights. And if that's, for me, starting at Southern area, happy days, I'll take that all day long. And to be honest, some of the Southern area English fights are some of the best fights that I've seen. Like, I've seen some great like Southern area and English level fights. I like the English route, Southern area English route. I also like the youth, like the youth titles are there for a reason until you're 24 or 25, whatever it is. I've still got like 3 or 4 years until I hit that threshold, until I hit that cap. So I've got that there as well. I've got a lot of options at the moment. This is why, for me, it could be a blessing in disguise, because I can take, even if I don't fight for a title next year, I've still got 2 years or 3 years after that to decide where I want to go afterwards. As long as I don't put any miles on the clock, that's the position I'm in. So really, it's not really, it is sort of a win-win still. But yeah, we'll see what Lee Eaton, my manager, my management think, and we'll see what the promoters think, and we'll just do what's right after that.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of people don't notice how young you are because of the fights that you've had already, and because of the platforms you've been on. You boxed on DAZN, you boxed on Channel 5, you've been up to Newcastle, you boxed in Brighton, you've been all over the place. But when you look back at your career already and how far you've already gone, does it still make you proud, even though, all right, you've got a loss on your record now, but when you look back at the rest of your career already, you've got to be proud of yourself for the age you are.
I'm proud of the loss. Yeah. Honestly, I'm proud of my loss. Like, I really don't, like, I'm not one of those to think like, yeah, I'm proud of every other win, but I'm not proud of the loss. I'm proud of the loss, part of the journey. I'm very, like, I wasn't, don't get me wrong. Like, after the month afterwards, I was in a bad place. Bad place. Like, it wasn't it's not been good, don't get me wrong. Like, even though I've been away and all that and the other, that don't make it any easier. And to be honest, there was a bit of advice that I've been told is, you'll never get over it, you'll just learn to live with it. And that's the sort of stage that I'm at now, where I can go back to gym, I can learn to live with it. Like, I had my first sparring session today since my fight, since I boxed. You learn to live with it. Do you know what I mean? You get on with it. But I'll always be proud. When I retire, I don't get how many losses I've got in my record, I'll be proud of it. Do you know what I mean? I'll always be proud of what I've done, what I achieved. Don't get me wrong, I've not really achieved anything yet. I've boxed on all these different platforms, yeah, but I've not got anything to show for it. I've not got a belt sitting in the corner. Do you know what I mean? I've not got a trophy cabinet. I've not got anything. Like, I've not actually achieved anything, but I'm still proud. I'm still, at 21 years old, people are coming out of university, working in Sainsbury's and doing all these different things. I could quite easily do the same thing, but for me, it was chasing a dream. Still chasing that dream. It's just a bump in the road. It's part of the journey. Doesn't mean I'll never be proud of it, because I will.
Yeah, and one person who is still young, about a similar age to you, Giorgio Vizioli.
Yeah. Just
been announced on his first headline. He's obviously a very good mate.
Yeah.
How proud of you, Giorgio,
so
getting that English final eliminator as well.
I love it for Giorgio. I just think the way that he's been managed, the way he's been marketed, the way that he's coming across, it's exactly how I know him. Like, and people will think, oh, all these boxers, they not the same in person. Giorgio is. Like, I can promise you now, Giorgio's exactly the same person he comes across on the camera. He's quite happy to give it back to people. Like, see, like with these Americans, they give it to him. Giorgio gives it back 100%. Always respectful. Always got good manners. He's always a role model. No matter who's coming at him, Giorgio is that exact same person in person. He's not stuck up. He's not one of those who turn your nose up at you. He'll help people out when he can. Do you know what I mean? He's a proper good. He's a good lad, Giorgio, and he'll do so well. Especially this fight with Joe Howarth. With this fight with Joe Howarth for the English eliminator. Final eliminator. It's so good for him. Like, again, and he's young. What is he? 20? He's 23, isn't he? A couple of years older than me. Like, that's so young as well. Like, and I think for him, it's perfect level. Like, you've seen Giorgio. Giorgio is that guy. Like, in waiting. Do you know what I mean? He is that guy. And this is just, again, the start of his title push, and I love the way that he's been marketed. I think it's great. I think what he's doing for himself and his family, next to none.
Yeah, and I actually spoke to Finley James yesterday, and I spoke to him about you and Giorgio and when you was at West Ham and how good it is to have rivalries in the gym when you was an amateur.
Yeah.
How much of them rivalries when you was an amateur, having the likes of, even training alongside Conor Mitchell, you obviously fought once, Giorgio Vizioli, how much has that made you into the fight you are today?
It pushes you on. Like, when you're amateurs, you're fighting for the love of the sport, so you're being, no, I want to be better than the next man, not I want to be better than the next man, but if the money's not right, I'll wait. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, not quite, it's not like that. You are doing it for the love of the sport. And for us to grow when we was amateurs, being around those sorts of people, we brought each other on. We'd all spar each other. No matter what weight you were, you'd spar. Do you know what I mean? You'd all spar each other. You'd all work with each other on the bag. You'd do your same circuits. You'd do your same runs, and you'd be with each other every day. Like, that was just where it was. No matter where you came from. Georgia used to come from Guildford to West Ham. I used to come from Essex, two completely other ends of London, but we used to meet in the middle almost every day. We do the same graph, put the same shift in. It turned us into the boxers that we are today, and you're seeing it now. The elite amateurs. Look at Conor just turning over now. Like, the good amateurs that have come out of that gym. We are setting the bar high, you know, and that is because we rubbed off on each other. You know, some people are taking a bit longer. Like Conor took a little bit longer to turn over. There's no need to turn over at 18. There really ain't. If you don't need to turn over at 18, Conor's done the right thing, winning an elite national title and then being like, yeah, right, now I'm ready to turn pro. Exactly the right way to do it. All these people they get to 18, like, right, I'm going pro, that's it. Honestly, it don't work like that. It really don't. Like, you got to prove your worth before you turn pro. And obviously Conor had his dad's name, but even Conor, he set himself apart from his dad. You know, his one thing is that his dad probably couldn't or didn't win. You know, and he made his own name. You know, so yeah, again, just going back to the West Ham thing, you can see you can see the cream of the crop coming through. Even like the Repton boys, Georgia went to Repton for a little while. You can see it all shining through in us.
Yeah, and obviously the amateur game ain't easy at all. It's far from
No.
easy, and a lot of people don't realise that some of these elite level amateurs that are like 27, 28, still pushing as amateurs. They
Absolutely.
don't realise how much that can actually help them when they do turn over to a pro.
Absolutely. They don't think, there's no such thing as a journeyman in the amateurs. Every fight's 50-50. No matter whether you're at regional level or you're at a club show or even at national level, even European level, they're there to win, no matter who it is you're fighting. And people don't realise that. People think, oh, well, his record's 50-50. He's had 20 fights and 10 wins. He could have lost to the national champion for the last 10 fights.
Yeah.
Still makes him the second best fighter in the country, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? People don't realise that, and yeah, like, don't get me wrong, there's no money in the amateur game really, because there's no TV and there's no media really. You don't get many sponsors, so there's no money in it really until you get to sort of Olympic level, Commonwealth level, world level, all that sort of thing. When you start getting a little bit of money, but that takes so long to get there that you are in your mid-20s by the time you get there. Sometimes mid-20s, late 20s, and then by the time it comes to turn pro, you're like, shit, I'm nearly 30.
Yeah.
And then by the time you turn pro, it's like I've got to get my arse in gear, because if I don't, I'm just going to lose the years, you know. So the amateur game's hard, but the professional game's better.
Yeah, definitely. And on your telly at the moment, you've got a bit of golf life. I know.
Absolutely.
Last time I see you, you were speaking about maybe turning pro at golf as well.
Oh, not quite.
Is this still a dream watching this now?
I'm trying. I like it. I don't know what it is. I've been sparring this morning. I come back, little switch off, do a little bit with you, and then go to the range later. Sort of gets me in the mood to just sort of chill. Like, it's a Friday night. Chill a little bit tonight. Do you know what I mean? And to be fair, my strength and conditioning coach, we play religiously. Me and Danny Stevens, we all play every week. Every Wednesday religiously we played. And then my other mate's Marcus Smith. He plays a lot of golf. We all love. I don't know why, but it's just one of those things you just get addicted. And for me, as a boxer, that's the complete opposite. But
Yeah, it must be good to not have to
boxing.
get hit playing
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Every now and then you got to be worried about a ball coming your way, but you're not quite dodging them on the course. But yeah, it's just so, like, it's calm. You're out with your pals. Before you know it, you've lost a day, but it's a day well spent. I think it's great.
One thing we ain't touched on is you got your first hole in one not so long ago.
Yeah. Yeah,
I see a video of you running towards a hole.
Yeah, I sent it to Dan actually. I was playing with one of my other mates from school, who I hadn't seen for a little while. So we went out and played in Rayleigh, the course, my local course. Rayleigh East Course, hole 12, par 3. Dribble it down the hill, straight in the hole. I couldn't even see it. The sun was right in my eyes. I couldn't even see it. And these lads on the tee box next to me were just screaming, and I was like, "What has just happened?" Gone down there, balls in the hole. Yeah, no, it was great. And then. Yeah, I got a video, I sent it to Dan. He didn't believe me, but I sent it to Dan. I mean, consider I've been playing golf for like 18 months to get a hole in one. People don't do it in 20 years. I couldn't believe it.
And then I asked someone the other day, I've asked Kevin Mitchell as well, perfect five-a-side team, but I'm going to ask you something different.
Go on.
If you could get a load of boxers to go out, you're on the piss, you're over the golf, you're having a good golf day out, if you could pick 3 people to play with you, who would them 3 be?
In just boxing,
boxing in
general.
You can pick any 3 boxers.
And am I doing it in terms of like shooting the lowest score, or?
No, you're doing it for a nice day out. Funniest day out you can have.
Funniest day out, I'd say.
Gaining some knowledge of people, whatever you think's best.
I'd say Conor Ben, because I think Conor would bring the energy. I'd then bring Chris Eubank, so they can have a scrap. They can have a scrap on a golf course. You can pick their brains out of the pair of them. And then I'd say, don't know, that's Conor Eubank. I'd say them 2, and then maybe like try and bring a peacemaker. Bring like don't know, maybe like a Dave Allen.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Because if you bring Dave Allen, be like, no, guys, like, let's keep the peace, guys. Let's keep the peace. Like, no. No fighting on a golf course, guys. We're having a good day. And I feel like them two, even though I know Dave's a big lad, but imagine them two having it off and then on a golf course throwing clubs at each other, like lumps of metal flying at each other. And then on top of that, I want the day to be proper rainy, stormy type day. Do you know what I mean? I think that'd be banging.
You know what? I think if I asked anyone else that question, they'd probably bring along a Floyd Mayweather and something like that to pick their brains in the sun.
Oh yeah, 100%. You could 100%
in the sun, but you want a nice rainy, stormy fight.
Rainy, stormy day. Let's see them have a fight. No gloves on. Dave Allen is a referee. I'll just sit there and popcorn in my camera. That would be banging.
Talking of golf life, I know there is a video coming up soon with Frank Smith and Eddie.
I see that.
The trilogy.
Yeah, I see that. They've their other two videos are great, aren't they? I love watching them.
Have you got a guess on who wins that one?
Well, I mean, Jimmy's got to win, isn't he? Jimmy's a great golfer.
Yeah,
he's serious. But you know what? Eddie surprised me though. Eddie can hit a ball. I was surprised with Eddie. Eddie was throwing darts on that golf course when I was hearing him. Frank Smith hitting a pitch miss from like 90 yards and just absolutely filling it across the green. I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why has he done that? They grilled him for that as well, didn't they? They absolutely, they grilled him for that. But I mean, yeah, quite deserved. It's quite deserved as well. I think, do you know what? I think Jimmy's just such a class golfer. I think Jimmy ripping both the shreds. I think, to be honest, I think no matter how many shots you give him, were they scrambling? Were the other two? Were Eddie and Frank scrambling?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe then. I don't know. No, I think Jimmy's got the facilities to beat him.
Yes, but obviously you're now going to be looking to hopefully get out by the end of this year if all goes well. You want to be out maybe once this year, another 3-4 times next year, and then be looking to push on at the end of next year to where you want to be.
Yep.
What do you reckon we could see from Tom Welland next year? Do you think we'll be seeing title shots by the end of next year?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're looking Southern Area Real English next year. Even a Commonwealth or something like that. I'm not, even though we lost last fight, we've still got momentum because of the level we boxed at and who we boxed and what title we boxed for. So even though we might have lost, we've still got the momentum, you know. And there are changes coming, which I will announce soon. There are changes coming in terms of my team, but we want to get out one more time this year, just so we don't end the year on the way it ended. Keep the momentum, get a couple of fights early next year, and then maybe this time next year we're looking at another title shot, whether it's a youth title, whether it's an English or Commonwealth or whatever it is. But my management and my promoters know when the right time is for that, and I'll leave that to them to decide. I've got to realise now myself, and this is a critic for me, that I am a boxer, and it's not my job to make decisions on I put the input in, but my job is to fight. They know what's right for me, and I'll just do what I'm doing. I'll keep myself in my own lane. But yeah, I think you'll see a new version of me hopefully come December and hopefully come early next year. So I'm looking forward to it. It's been hard to look forward to the comeback, but no, I'm quite gassed for it.
Yeah, and one person that we talk about every single interview, can't help but not talk about this young lady, Ella Welland. She obviously boxed out in Denmark not too long ago. Didn't get the results she wanted, but you said that she still went out there and boxed unbelievable, didn't she?
She boxed really well. I think, again, she's maturing every fight. She's looking, do you know what? She looks older every fight. Like, she just looks like she's maturing into a young lady. It's quite scary, really, because I remember going out to Cornwall with the family and all the family as well, like my nan, all the family, and she was just like this little girl running about, you know. She's turning into a young lady now. Like she's 16 next year, and you can see it in the ring. She's really maturing. She's finding her feet now. She's starting to win things. Don't get me wrong, she didn't get the decision she wanted, but also amateur boxing, sometimes it's a bit hit and miss with these decisions. You know, I don't think she deserves to lose that, but it's experience for her. You can't groan at that. And again, for her, because it's amateur boxing, there's no step back. You just keep momentum going. You get in again. You keep fighting. You know, you rack up the numbers. But no, she's looking really good. And under the guidance of Sab and Ray Ball at Leo's and Alex at Leo's, she's really coming on. She'll be good. Give her another couple of years. By the time she gets ready to turn pro, 19, 20, 21, she could be really, really good. You just got to keep her in the gym and keep her grounded.
Yeah, and obviously we can't wait till the one day that she will turn pro, because it is inevitable the way she's boxing at the moment.
Yeah.
But even at the show the other day, you see the likes of Caroline Dubois there, who are world champions. And you get the likes of El Scotney that turned up when you was fighting.
Yeah.
And when you look at these women, how much do you see this sport is pushing on for the women? You've got the fights in Saudi, like the Sky Nicholson. One. How much is this sport pushing on for women now?
I think because women's professional boxing, they don't see it as a professional. It is. they're professional boxers. Just because they're women, like they're professional boxers, they are. It's the same with sport. A couple of different tweaks, but that's because it's just naturally going to be a couple of different tweaks, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously they're not getting as, like, it's quite easy for them to get to world level in 5 or 6 fights, but that's just because there's not as many women boxers. That's not their fault, you know. So I think it's good, like especially like what MVP are doing for women's boxing. They're signing a lot of female boxers now at the moment. If anything, I think they've pretty much signed most of them now. To be honest, I think they're all pretty much in with MVP in America. I think the way that they're doing things, it's got with the women's boxing definitely got a very bright future. And for Ella, all she's got to do is take her time and just pick the right time, because when her time does come, the women's sport could be in a really good place. And they're sort of revolutionising it a little bit now. I think with Katie Taylor pushing it, the likes of Caroline Dubois pushing it, Dina Forsland, everyone pushing it, it's going to turn into a really, really intriguing sport, and people are going to be interested because it's women's professional boxing that they've not seen before. And then for Ella, when she turns pro, if she can catch that right, catch the bottom of it and catch it right, she could be in a proper good position when she gets a bit older. But it's just about timing for her and just about making sure that she's ready for it and keeping her grounded.
Yeah, one thing I did see after your last fight, you got a lot of love on social media, a lot of messages, a lot of comments. What have you got? If there was one thing to sign off this interview, one thing that you want to say to them people that are still supporting you, still backing you, what would that one thing be?
Listen, you can't force people to show you love after the fight, because you don't necessarily deserve it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's sort of one of those things like, I don't feel like the job's done now. But all those people in the comments that have sent me messages, that even people that I don't know, do you know what I mean? I was in Denmark, a couple of Welsh slags that came over, lovely boys, just showed their love. Do you know what I mean? It's like, listen, they literally just said, like, we were thinking of you, blah, 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 blah. Just such lovely people. And you know, when you go through like a calamity like that, you don't realise that there are good people in this world. Some horrible people and all, don't get me wrong, but there are some good people in this world, and I appreciate, my family appreciates every single one of you that have not kicked a man down, not kicked a man when he's down. And that, especially like my friends and my family, like the people that I know that would have shown me love anyway, but have gone their mile to show me that love. Yeah, it's one of those things you can't buy in this world. You can't put any value and you can't put any worth to it. Even like my girlfriend Maisie, like, there's just been, it could have gone really really sour, just in general, and it hasn't. It's gone the complete opposite. People have tried to pick me up. We've gone through again, and it is quite depressing, but it is the time we go through after a loss like that, you know. And me and Maisie did the camp here together. She knows the effort that we put in, and for her, she put a lot of effort into it as well. Same with my mum and dad. Like, we all put effort into it. That they know that it's not as easy as just losing. You sort of lose 8 weeks, you know. And for me, that was like the start of my push on. Do you know what I mean? So it is hard, but just want every single person that sent me love, sent me a message. Thank you to you all. I really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be back before the end of the year. And listen, we push on.
Tom, I want to thank you very much for taking the interview.
Appreciate it, Frank.
I look forward to seeing you out in December.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.